I'm reading Thrift Grift. Are people really donating their Ninja air fryer with the pizza roll still inside? Dude, honestly, that's why like working at Goodwill like opened my eyes to the hypocrisy of man. People would they would donate garbage bags full of clothes that smelled like piss. We don't want that shit. How badly do you think of your fellow man that you're like, I'm gonna donate a bunch of like piss-soaked clothes? Well, I don't want them because they're soaked with my piss, but maybe someone out there who's less fortunate will like want to wear clothes that smell like my piss. Like, what's wrong with you? And like maybe I've been a Goodwill worker for 3 years. It's awful. Hell is other people, man. It like maybe once a week, and I only worked there for like 6 weeks, but like so 6 times. You would get there for like opening, and there would be like 10 garbage bags of actual garbage in front of the Goodwill. Like, what possesses a person to do that? That they're like, I want to throw out garbage, but throwing out garbage makes me feel bad. So instead, I'm going to give my garbage to Goodwill on the naive assumption that they'll like sort through it. They'll sort through like literal food waste to find something that they can resell, and then I'm recycling and I'm doing a good deed. Like, what's wrong with you? People would donate like old food or like cardboard boxes with like, rat holes chewed through it and stuff like that. It's very annoying. Also, like when you work at Goodwill, at least when I worked there, I made minimum wage, and they had you doing like some, I don't want to say it's unsafe shit, but shit that I was like not trained to do. Like my job description was like, sort through stuff that people donate, and then if it's trash, throw it in the trash, and if it's not trash, you go up the chain and you give it to someone who sets the prices. And when I worked there, I was like, oh man, I could aspire to that job. I want to be the person who sets the prices because they get to sit down. They don't have to look at garbage. They only look at the stuff that's been sorted through after it was garbage. But then, like, once every few days, they would be like, hey, the truck just arrived. Can you help me unload it? And all of a sudden, I'm 18 years old, 135 pounds. I'm working with like a 55-year-old, 350 pound, like, chain smoker who can lift a refrigerator by himself. I'm pulling like solid oak tables out of a tractor trailer and stuff like that for 7.75 Canadian an hour. Like that was irresponsible, man. Then I got a job that summer where I could sit down and listen to my MP3 player instead. I ran the Sanyo down. It died on my last day of work at that office job. It was kismet. Sounds like Gaines. Well, like if I had worked there longer, I definitely would have been in like insane shape for sure. No doubt about it. He did it for a single day? What are you talking about? I did it for 6 weeks. I mean, you could still like be dismissive about doing it for 6 weeks. You don't have to lie about it. I was only a mover for a day. Being a mover for a day also opened my eyes. I was a temp. I didn't have a job one summer, so I applied at a temp agency thinking like they would be like, wow, this guy types really fast. Let's have him do data entry. Get a call at like 9 p.m. the next night. That's like, hey, can you be ready at 4:45 a.m.? There's a moving company needs a warm body. Can you come across town and be at the office at 5:30? So I'm like, no. And my parents are like, yes. So fair enough. I didn't grow up in like the 50s where they're like kick me out, but they were like, please do something. Like you're doing nothing. You're withering on the vine here. Okay, in hindsight, I think they might have been right. So my dad drove me across town. I got there at 5:30. It's me and a bunch of like guys who look like they compete on the World's Strongest Man. I'm a skinny, literally 18-year-old kid who like I do calisthenics. My cardio is pretty strong. And then so they're like, okay, you're gonna like you get in the truck at like 6:30 a.m. Right? I'm in like an 18-wheeler. Two guys in the front who have worked together for like 20 years, and then me just in the back. They don't tell me anything. We drive for like an hour and a half to a town I've never even heard of. Take all the stuff out of their house, load it in the truck, drive to their new house, which is like 45 minutes away, take it all out of the truck, unload it. They're carrying like 18 Rubbermaid containers down the stairs with one hand every time. I'm taking like one. Even the owners of the house were like, why does this guy work at the moving company? Like it was just a very bad fit. And then So now it's like we've been working from 6:30 was when we got into the truck until like I don't know, it was like 5:45 and then we finally finished the move. Then we had to drive 90 minutes back to the office. So I'm like this shit is like a 14-hour day. And then while I was in the 18-wheeler in the back, the driver of the truck was just like smoking weed the whole time. And I'm like, I don't know if this like I'm gonna fucking die. I'm gonna die today. Like this dude is high as hell. He's just been lifting heavy boxes for 12 hours straight. And he's blazed driving my 18-year-old ass at like 130 kilometers an hour in an 18-wheeler down the 401. I thought that might be like my last day on planet Earth. We did get time and a half though. That was nice.